Hello and welcome to TSL Talk. Finals are a bit over a month away and we're joined by Damien McIvor from the ABCs. Damien, thanks again for filling in the big shoes of Brett Stubbs.
Very big shoes and slightly dusty shoes, they tell me.
Yes, I believe he had a big weekend in Melbourne, so couldn't quite get here to this morning. So, big round of footy, we'll get right into it, and a couple of games, mate, that probably really have a bearing on the finals moving forward.
Yeah, we were really excited about this round going into it, and the two matches in particular, North Hobart versus Glenorchy and Lauderdale playing Launceston, and I think we got a few answers out of those games. Lauderdale, terrific win from them. I think it really just confirms their improvement and their emergence as a genuine challenger this year. Launceston, they'll be stung by that loss. And then North Hobart, Glenorchy. Well, Glenorchy had a chance to wrap up 5th spot, and North Hobart have shown that season 2012 isn't quite done for them yet. Exciting for us watching footy because it means the next 4 weeks have still got plenty on the line, and well, the Demons may just get there yet. Yeah,
it certainly keeps it all open, doesn't it? And we saw Glenorchy, as you said, they had the chance to nail it, and they probably wasted their chances and could have maybe put the game to bed. But in that first quarter, they 2-5, could have been 4-5 goals up, and really let North off the hook. And you know, the week that North Hobart had was a really big win for them, wasn't it?
It certainly was, and it was a strange game because for the first quarter and a half, it wasn't much of a spectacle. Glenorchy were the only North Hobart hadn't kicked a goal, and Glenorchy was squandering plenty of opportunities. And I was watching, I just thought this is going to be, after the week that North Hobart had, it's going to be a really sad way for their season to sort of slip away. And then they found something. They got a couple of quick goals, Tommy Allwright and Ollie Divenuto, I think it was, that got them going. They started winning the ball in the midfield, and from that point on they really controlled the game. Glenorchy tried to go with them, but in the end it was quite a convincing win, and showed in many ways what this team is capable of when they can win the football. They've got some quality players that know how to use it, and they were hitting the scoreboard. And yeah, for the competition, I think it's great. It means that the next month should be pretty exciting.
Absolutely. It could be an injury doubt over Jesse Wells as well, who hobbled off with a hamstring injury late in that game as well, so that won't help them. And then we saw on Sunday, Lauderdale, probably the win they had to have. You know, they've pushed Clarence, they were thereabouts with Burnie, but to knock off the reigning Premier, who I know have struggled a little bit, but it probably gives them a bit of legitimacy into where they want to go for this season. And
it was an emphatic win, wasn't it? Set up by a blistering opening term, and then they held off the challenge when it came. Lauderdale have always been difficult to beat down there, but you're right, there were question marks. I mean, Burnie went down and swept them aside. Clarence has beaten them. Now they've knocked off one of the big teams, Launceston, albeit not travelling as well as what we thought. But that 3rd spot, which it's still up for grabs, but I think they've got the front running on that now and probably deserve it given the year they've had so far.
And, the coach Anthony Taylor was a disappointed man after the game. He kept the boys behind closed doors for a good 15-20 minutes, and here's a couple of things that he had to say after that loss.
You can't complain too much when they kick badly for goal, and you know, they were just far too good. They use the ball better, they run harder, and they just beat us in all facets. So, you know, I can moan about what we didn't do, but they were just too good. They didn't allow us to do anything, and they had the ball, and thank Christ they kicked 18 points. So it could have been 12 or 15 goals. We just played a dumb brand of footy today, and they put us to the sword.
You're pretty disappointed there, and probably rightly so. It was probably the best side they've had on the park all year. They've been injury riddled. Where do you see that leaving them now? They've got a big game against Burnie in 2 weeks. You know, they should finish 3rd, 4th, but they want to sort some stuff out.
Yeah, look, my, I guess, understanding of where Launceston was at, that they were improving, that once they got their players back, they'll be difficult to beat. And you take all that on board, going into the weekend's game, I expected them to win. So it's a setback for them, and going into the finals, there is, obviously, you know, big gap between finishing 4th and finishing 3rd. You don't get the double chance. Anything can happen in an elimination final, and it's going to be difficult for them. I mean, I was still expecting them to maybe push for the flag, but doing it from 4th, that's going to be very tough. Of course, there's still a chance to get 3rd, but I think we'll learn a lot about them in the next month.
And there are a couple of other games, we'll just quickly touch on them. North Launceston got over South Launceston. Good win for them. They lost the other 2. Burnie thumped Devonport, which was about, again, injury concern. Jason Laycock, add him to the pile with Andrew Lee, and they're a little bit thin.
Absolutely, that's huge news.
Doesn't
that one
help there. And moving forward now, here's the ladder, and it's really tightening up. We've got Launceston and Lauderdale both on 40 points, but percentage keeps Lauderdale there, and that 5th spot, North Hobart, stay in the hunt, but their percentages really could hurt them in the long run. How do you see it coming home? I mean, you look at the runs here. Glenorchy have got 2 winnable games. They play North Hobart in the last round. It'd be great if it came down to that last game, didn't it, where the winner makes that 5th spot.
It would be terrific. Look, North Hobart have still got the challenge ahead of them. You look at the respective run homes. They both face Clarence, which you'd expect them at this stage probably not to get there. They're going to need one more upset. North Hobart have to conjure something from somewhere. They showed on the weekend that even from a position where we thought they were gone, that they fought back, but they're going to have to keep doing it because, as you said, if it can come down to that last round and whoever wins that game advances, that would be, well, for us anyway, it would be ideal.
And this weekend, mate, only 2 games down here. We've got Hobart, South Launceston. Probably Hobart's last chance to get a win for the season, you'd think. And the big game everybody's probably looking forward to is Clarence and Glenorchy out at KG5 with big Cam Mooney, former Geelong Premiership player, making an appearance.
Yeah, under lights at KG5 Monday night. And, well, if Glenorchy can do what they did last time against Clarence and beat them, then 5th spot is theirs. What
do you expect from big Cam Mooney, mate? Benny Beam said on the weekend he's apparently been training for the last 4 weeks and was struggling a bit, but he's slowly regaining some touch. So do you expect him to come out and kick a bag?
I think he might. I mean, he's a tough matchup. I mean, obviously we know what he can do in footy. It's a question of, his conditioning, whether Glenorchy can get the ball to him. I was interested. He's had a few comments in the media. He's aware of the Glenorchy-Clarence rivalry. He's talked about the possibility of a few brawls and a few skirmishes, and I'm sure he'll be in the thick of it if that does happen. So hopefully they get a decent crowd and big game.
That's one we're all looking forward to. That caps another big round. More big news coming up in the coming weeks. And thanks again for coming on board. And remember, for all your TSL news and previews, get your copy of the Mercury or head to the Mercury online.